Shit, I know why you got no audio. I am very sorry. I forgot to get onto the right mic there. Let me do that real quick. We are as professional as we have always been. There we go. All right then. Sorry for that little hiccup. Welcome along. Free practice 3. Yeah, I am I am the dumb today. I can't really brain. I'm sorry. It was very late yesterday, so here we are. Then let me do this again. I want y'all, especially the mobile users, to bring your nose into your screen very close, hold the phone upright, and then touch that red glowing subscribe button. It is free and it helps us here at Racing Statistics a whole lot. Also, you should definitely go and grab a knife from your kitchen, find the like buttons home, sneak in there, and heat up both sides of their pillow just enough to be uncomfortable to sleep. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, so free practice 3. We had a free practice 1 session that was incredibly boring, with more than half the time not having any cars out on track. And then basically everybody just pouring out towards the end of the session to throw something in. It was quite funny to watch the end, but the whole session was very treacherous to watch, even with only half of the drivers putting in a time towards the end. While free practice 2 then has been much more spectacular. We got to see some of the upgrades, like the Ferrari new rear wing they brought, while the Aston Martin has had a little bit of a problem with their floor just being constructed too weak, catching Sebastian Vettel out there, but they were able to repair it and send him back out to get that crucial data. So we can be quite curious what free practice 3 will bring us and what then, of course, qualifying will be. We got currently the poll up who will take pole this afternoon. So you just go ahead, have your voice heard there. We are very interested on how good the swarm intelligence of prediction in this chat is. As always, I'm just here being bamboozled and talking kind of incoherent shit for your entertainment, while you are actually the guys knowing everything. So yeah, as always, I am standing here with a lot of Red Bull cans ahead of free practice because we never know if they are really getting interesting or not. We had pretty much both extremes yesterday. And yeah, so as always, we like to ask where in the world you are from, and also, as I always ask you to just go out and do a random good deed for a stranger, I am quite curious if some stories of that arose and if you went out and did something good for a stranger. Let me know in chat. Give me a message on your good deed. Before we start the last 4 minutes, I can tell you that yesterday, when I went out grocery shopping, I had this crying kid there who wanted some candy, but their parents didn't buy them some. And I just bought a little bit of that chocolate thing the child wanted to give it to them, while the parents became furious at me. The child was pretty thankful, and I have learned that this child is diabetic, and so I had to take the candy from it again, making the whole ordeal worse. So that was a walk-in condom advertisement afterwards. But yeah, just you can't always win with trying to do some good in the world, but at least you try. So yeah, um Officially, I am now Feral, the one stealing candy from kids, I guess. Yeah, so track 5.8 kilometers long, two detection zones. Track lap record is currently at 1 minute 24 point something, held by Lewis Hamilton. We got 18 turns ahead of us. On this former World War II airfield. So yeah, as I am now getting my blueberry Red Bull ready, hadn't had that yesterday. Um, let's see. The Mercedes updates are clearly working. It seems like that. They are still complaining from Hamilton about bouncing, but I don't know. I just can't take complaints from Hamilton serious anymore, as you know, his tires are always dead just before he does quickest laps and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. And unfortunately, I have still not found anything on the upgrades they were bringing apart from Ferrari bringing that new rear wing, Aston Martin bringing a new floor, and Williams apparently doing something to their side pods, or underfloor, outside underfloor, but not really found anything um really decisive there, like not just some motorsport magazine having some speculations out. I hooked on Classic, the dark humor guy. Welcome on back. Glad to have you. So yeah, take your places, have a seat. You have 1 minute and about 15 seconds to go to the green flag. Get some water in there, stay hydrated, stay healthy, keep your stuff together, and yeah, we are waiting. We are currently seeing some pictures of Carlos Sainz being ready in the car. I would like to see that rear wing now, see if there is any flow-vis left on that, or if they have gotten a grasp of this new aerodynamic component already. Jose hopes for a clean FP3 and quali. I'm not sure. I wanna see at least someone beaching it or snapping out, getting the wrong way around, having a little spin or something. To be honest, I love seeing all the crashes and incidents in Formula One. I never hope for drivers to get hurt, of course, but it is kind of part of the game, It is the chaos we are kind of looking for. So let's see. Qualifying from now will be in 3 hours, pretty much exactly as we are going green now. Um, it doesn't really look like they are eager to get on the track. I mean, we are green, but nobody is getting out. And just got the message through. The risk of rain for FP3 is around 30%. So depending on how the day develops, we might maybe get a wet qualifying. And first one take out on track is Lance Stroll, who had an unfortunate little spin there in the closing laps, closing seconds of yesterday's free practice 2, and actually cut it short by 1 minute with causing a red flag, but no damage was done. Just beached it in the gravel. So Stroll is immediately followed by his teammate Vettel, and then comes Alonso and Mick Schumacher. Both the Aston Martins go are out on a hard tire, while Alonso is on a soft, and both the Haas sport that yellow ring medium tire. Ocon follows on a soft, and Tsunoda gives the hard compound another go. The C1, pretty much the hardest tire we have at the moment. So yeah, Copse Corner could become Corpse Corner if they don't get a handle on the porpoising. Very nicely said. I am a huge fan of puns, and that was a good one. I liked it. Please keep it up. So yeah, it is. I always see a lot of Ferrari is the fastest car in chat there, and that is absolutely true. Thing is also the Ferraris are a very unreliable car, and how I always say, it doesn't really matter how fast your car is. It is way more important, or it is at least as important to make it to the finish line. So yeah, I could probably see a Ferrari win here for tomorrow's Sunday's race, but I'm not quite sure about a 1-2, as I think one of the Ferraris might fail again. And yeah, there we go. Sebastian Vettel going back into the pits to grab some new tires right away. Um, yeah, very nice. To finish first you have to finish. Who is that quote from? I'm sure chat will know. I sure don't because I'm dumb. Um yeah. Red Bull brought a degrade to Silverstone. I'm not quite sure about that. I don't think Red Bull really brought anything at all, to be honest. At least I haven't found anything. So yeah, but generally, how do you think about this whole greatest driver of all time? I kind of think it is very, very hard to tell as the sport is evolving a lot. You could probably go for a greatest driver of an era, but an all-time is very, very difficult as the rules have changed drastically and yeah, don't really know, but mm, we get a team radio there of Mick Schumacher. Let's have a quick listen to that. All right, so apparently the wind is coming in strong from the south as he was warned about strong tailwinds in turn 3 and down into Copse Corner, which is turn 9. So yeah, Fernando Alonso seems to be put in his first rather pushy lap there on a soft compound tire. Ocon currently putting it into P1 with a 1 minute 33. That is still 9 seconds off a possible record break of Lewis Hamilton there. And the wind is coming in with almost 20 kilometers per hour. So that is quite a lot, quite something the drivers need to take care of. So yeah, so anyways, um have I? Yes, while the microphone was muted, I have asked this question, so I will ask it again, or maybe you will hear it again and just chose not to answer. But we always ask and are curious about where in the world you all are from, and I personally am quite interested in how your day has been going so far, and just getting it a little bit more positive out there. What made you smile this week? So, well, we have more drivers out on the track than we had yesterday in the first practice session, which just again was treacherously boring with only half the drivers putting in a time at all. And also, there were only drivers out on track for about half the time of the session. At the moment, it looks better. Only Red Bull, Williams, and the two Mercedes staying in the pits so far. Everybody else is out there running their programs. Ooh, that Cyrillic name. Wait, let me see if I can read that. Kartoffelnaya? Kartoffelnaya? Okay, so potato, I guess. Western Australia, and the beautiful sunny weather made you smile. That is very nice to know. It is always the little things. If you don't enjoy the little ones, you will not really be happy with the big things happening to you. Talking about the little things, I mean, it is just free practice 3, and it probably won't stay like that, but we have just gotten ourselves the Honey Badger in P1. One of the little things to make us happy here. Just a little bit seeing him there, as the position is immediately taken by Norris. So that was a very little thing.
Yeah, g'day, g'day. Well, he enjoyed it, mate. As an Australian there for a second, we'll come along.
Yeah, there we go. The Biggles has joined.
It's his birthday +1. It was his birthday yesterday, anyway. Oh, and the Ferraris have now done that and taken that away. Still on the show away there from the McLarens. G'day there, Farrell. Yep, I'm the Beagles, mate. A little early in the morning for me, so a little late to the free
Yeah,
practice.
I
But I'm
heard
here.
about 7 in the morning. We had another Floridian in chat being as well, saying as it was 7 in the morning. So I was just getting out some positivity as the first laps are being put in. One of the little things to make us happy was a Ricardo NP1 there. But just for a second, as it was immediately taken by Norris, and he's now down back into 6th, which is kind of sad. But it's fine. It's fine. Just to keep you up to date, what you have missed yesterday. I was completely bamboozled by the track. I forgot the name for Maggots and Beckett, and I think we officially call it now the Wiggly Worm bit.
The wiggly worm bit.
Yeah,
So
just
it's
so
like
you're
our
not.
porpoising. Ooh, this is where Charles Leclerc goes a little bit wiggly coming out of that corner, actually. Not out of the last corner.
Yeah,
Apologies.
nah, that was Copse corner, which could become Corpse corner if Mercedes doesn't really get the
Ooh.
hang of their bouncing there. Yeah, we had, I as always, I steal my jokes mostly from chat.
Getting a paused stream there at the moment. So the Ferrari's leading, and then I forgot the Alfa Romeos have come in there and snuck in there in P3, P4
Yeah,
there for the practice session. Not to mention, of course, they were the first ones to win the British GP as well, too, an Alfa Romeo. Who was it? There's a good question out there for the chat.
yeah, just wanted to say, sure, something chat will know. So yeah, Perez and Russell have been taken out to the track at the moment, leaving only Williams being the team that hasn't seen any track time now. Of course, joined by Verstappen and Hamilton. I'm just seeing a picture there of the Mercedes AMG Petronas F1 team's Twitter that Hamilton is apparently getting into his car now, so we should see him out on track pretty much right now as he is coming out of the pits at this moment. On the track, immediately slotting it in behind Bottas. So guess they still are a quite inseparable team from their time at Mercedes together.
Bottas is putting in a pretty quick lap at the moment, maybe trying to sneak it at one ahead there for the Ferrari. So we have the Red Bull of Perez out on a flying lap right now. We have, as you mentioned, there Hamilton coming out for his warm-up lap. Perhaps he's out lap. Yes, as well as his teammate George Russell. So once again, both the Mercedes out there. We still have yet to see the Williams out there. We're still yet to see Verstappen go out on track. Still
Yeah,
plenty of
as we
time, of
see,
course. 48
Paris
minutes.
is looking quite quick. Only 200th of Leclerc's pace there. Both setting their times currently on a soft tire. So let's see how it goes for Perez as he comes up onto the final corner. Getting around, neatly planting the floor onto that throttle and goes second by about 1.5 tenths there. So it looks like we will see some battling between Ferrari and Red Bull again. Hopefully having some of the other teams, of course, staying in there, staying close. Because I don't want the championship to be decided between Red Bull and Ferrari only.
Just reading out there, I think it's Robert. Somebody said Robert was. I'm just trying to refer who was the first one that won the GP in the Alfa Romeo. As a
Yeah.
sidetrack note. I did hear there might be potentially some rain towards the end of the session. Did you find out anything about that?
Well, the chance of rain for FP3 in general is 30%. So yeah, we might see some. We might also not see some. Depending on the weather development, we might get a wet qualifying though.
Yeah, they are predicting the race to be 100% dry, a nice hot day actually. So that means that they'll be looking at running a dry setup, maybe in a wet qualifying session. The clouds are starting to come over a little bit now. Who was that? We had Gary, the hedgehog in Canada. Who was it again that we had during the free practice, guys? You remember correctly?
I don't
free
know.
practice
I'm
one?
personally for Squishy the sheep.
Squishy the sheep. That's right. It was sheep. I forgot about that. Yes.
And
Hamilton going fast in the middle sector. Let's have a look.
yeah,
I
let's see.
expect Hamilton to do a really good job
In the
this.
first sector though, so he is still behind the pace.
Sir Lewis Hamilton, of course, knighted here.
Yeah,
2021.
King Chu is currently volunteering. Just wanted to pop in, see how everything's going. Hope everything is doing well, and dropping us another 25 euros. I cannot handle affection. You're better at that, so you thank people there. But I really like that King Chu is currently volunteering, as I always say, to just go out into the world and do a random good deed for a stranger. King Chu apparently took that quite upon himself to do enough good deeds for all our viewers.
Absolutely. What are you volunteering for, my friend, at the moment? If you don't mind sharing that with us, that'd be fantastic. Volunteering in time is always great. Just watching some pictures of Lewis Hamilton coming in currently the top in the third on the timing table. Sorry, it's early in the morning for me. That's because the upgrades are working quite well here that they bring this weekend at Silverstone for the Mercedes. Where's George Russell just a little bit further down? Where is George Russell?
Yes,
Oh, no, not anymore.
The line.
It's just jumped up to P3.
Yeah. Yeah, Russell is off there by 200ths of a second. That is not a lot of margin between the two drivers.
I expect this weekend, I think Mercedes are going to be looking pretty solid, perhaps for a second row here.
Yeah, and
I think we're going to turn into a three-way battle, aren't we? As we're looking as one Pablo Montoya.
They're
Jose
coming in with another $10 for King Ju. I don't know. That's you're aware that you donated that money to us here at Racing Statistics and not actually to King Ju.
It's still sharing love somewhere along the line there. I still didn't see what has King Chu responded yet, what he was doing for his volunteering.
No, but he said that he would just quickly pop in, drop us some money, tells us he was volunteering, and apparently he is already gone again back to making the world a little bit better.
Excellent. Daniel Ricciardo's out on track, improving a little bit on his time. We'll see what's going to happen. Ocon's gone out. Finally, Nicholas Latifi's gone out for one of the Williams. In fact, the other one, Alex Albon,
Yeah,
is
both
out
Albon
on a
Albon
lap.
has been out as well. He is now on a hot lap. Or is this already his cooldown? The sectors look a little bit indecisive there. But he is on a soft tire, so he will definitely try to get some hot laps in. And Latifi putting it into P11 there on his soft tire. So
Yeah, Lou already said
um,
that out there in the chat. Lou's already on top of that. Some people are going to be a little bit quicker than other people when it comes to statistics. If you have obviously advantages to having a look at some of it and looking at Zach Brown right now, concentrating because he's Mercedes, McLaren, sorry, it starts with an M, 9th and 10th. Perez is out going a little bit quicker. Kevin's out there, got a purple somewhere around there into the first sector. And Max Verstappen still sitting in the pit lane. I don't think there's any issues with old Maxster.
I'm not sure. I mean, they had a few issues with Perez's car yesterday. He is now out on track. Still on the soft tire,
Team radio?
putting in
Team radio from Carlos Sainz saying that the
problems
problems he
from
was having
yesterday,
from
not
yesterday.
better. So I guess they're not calling it porpoising anymore. But yeah, there is a few issues with Perez's car yesterday, and they seem to be carrying on into today. Still, he's just 0.177 seconds behind Leclerc, and now goes fastest, leading Hamilton with 0.126 seconds. But no, Verstappen has been taken out to track. Now he is on his outlap.
Yeah,
So
Perez
let's
got
see
it.
what he can do there.
Lewis Hamilton sneaks into P2, but I think Charles Leclerc might steal this one away and get the top of the timesheets
Currently,
right now.
so far in all purple as he goes over the line, putting it into first, but only 0.08 of a second in front of Perez. So it was pretty much purple along everything apart from that sector 3. So it seems like Ferrari is not the rocket ship we got to learn it to be, as sector 3 is the one with the most straights and fast corners, and that's where he lost his time.
Hamilton's still doing a pretty good job. Sebastian Vettel, Lance Stroll goes P9. Yeah, Verstappen, but we're going to see the Supermax times coming in now because this is going to be, I think, if you guys agree, it's going to be a 3-way battle for the pole coming up in a couple of hours
And
later
as
on.
he
I would have to
now
say
starts his hot lap,
3-team battle that would be. I'd expect
yeah,
Hamilton might have a very good job there getting pole today if he could pull a miracle out of the bag. And we know Sir Lewis Hamilton, 7 championships under his belt, can very much do it.
Yeah, 4 consecutive wins here, 8 wins in total. So we have Verstappen putting in a purple sector 1. Looking quite strong through sector 2 as well.
Yes, so it's early, but Schumacher's also looking good. And let's go,
Yeah,
Max.
we got a radio
Kangarooing.
of
G'day,
Leclerc.
guys. Yeah, somebody's late. You turn your music off to come and join us. Thank you very much. Verstappen looking pretty good first sector. Yeah, here he is. I like how Max Verstappen come out immediately first time,
too.
And then set probably the top of
If
the
I
timesheet so
look
far.
at that throughout the mini sectors, that's definitely a purple 2. And looking strong throughout sector 3 there as well, at least down the straights. Let's see how he does through the high-speed corner. Not fastest through the high-speed corner, but very much getting a lot of speed into turn 16 there. So they are really taking the last thing out of that Red Bull power unit, as Verstappen easily gets himself his 3 purple sectors, putting it into P1 with half a second to spare on Leclerc behind him. So
Lay down the gauntlet right now. There's the man coming straight out of the box for the first time this evening. He set almost half a second over Charles Leclerc, putting the statement down saying, okay, guys, I think I might want to look at getting pole here in a couple of hours. As we also saw, Keanu Reeves is here this evening, sitting in the Aston Martin garage there, hanging out with that team. And Charles Leclerc is out there on track, still probably in a little bit more of an improvement.
Yeah, let's see. Not quite sure if Leclerc already
Team radio?
tries a flyer out there.
Yeah, did you get the team radio there? No,
Yeah.
kangarooing, confirmed from George Russell.
Exactly. No pogo stick in there. I don't know. I don't think that this season has been all too well for Toto there. As I
John Wick
see,
is around,
he is,
apparently. Dan Shepard,
yeah,
good call.
Toto
Thank you.
Wolff looks like he has aged about 5 years from last season to this one. So,
He still has his headphones
yeah.
on, thankfully. They have replaced them. Alonso's out on track now for the first time on an out lap. See, but Alonso's a bit of a man that can put it in practice sessions. Latifi's out improving a little bit on his time. George Russell's improving on his time currently at the moment, too.
Yeah, well, Alonso has already tried himself on a hot lap at the very beginning of the season, but as you can see with his 5.374 seconds in P20 was not very successful with that. Kodok putting it there, Keanu Reeves, absolutely hottest guy in town. I'm not really gay, but I think I would change that for him if I had a chance.
Yeah, if I would, I'd, man, for sure. Absolutely. Let's go, George
Yeah.
Russell. Sector 2's looking pretty impressive there. So Russell and Hamilton showdown here this evening. Hamilton needs really, I'd have to say, to especially because he's a full-time winner here. Lay the gauntlet down to his teammate. And at the moment, Russell's responding this one. So we'll see. Hamilton's a little quicker in that middle sector, but Russell got a couple of little purple mini sectors.
Yeah, even goes up into a purple sector 2 for Russell in general. So that is a fastest overall as he gets into that last little technical part, speeding up into turn 18, goes over the line and puts it into P3 there. Hamilton might be straight behind, but that lap is not looking very quick. I doubt that he will be improving on his personal time even. Hamilton over the line, not improving there, keeping his P5 for the moment.
Track's pretty busy with a lot of cars, as you can see on the track map out on track. Some of the cars are there,
Yeah,
some of the cars are. Another actor's in the garage there. It's a Mercedes garage.
yeah, Siddharth Tiwari comes in with a interesting question there on why wasting engines in practice. Do you want me to answer this from the engineer's point of view, or do you want to have a go at it?
Not you, my friend. You're the technical advisor.
All right, yeah, well
Caster.
then. Yeah, basically it is for the cars, depending on their speeds, the aerodynamic change. And in practice, you're really all about this data gathering. So whenever you get a chance to get out on track, depending also on the upgrades you brought on a high-speed track, you want to get that last little bit of performance squished out of the engine to prevent any problems you might otherwise not see coming when you're in the race, really pushing the engine and have to push it for laps after laps after laps. So it doesn't make sense to go full on the engine for the whole practice session, but it is absolutely making sense to get 1 or 2 laps at the maximum performance in there to basically have a look at problems like maybe heightened tire use or some bouncing porpoising. Maybe the whole suspension setup is too stiff. And these are just problems you won't really see if you don't go out on the car with all you have and really punishing that engine, basically. Yeah,
Welcome
and we have
along. If
just seen.
anybody near the track at the moment here in Silverstone, please let us know if you are not too far down the road or whatever, how the weather forecast is looking with those clouds. You can give us a early insight as Verstappen looks like it might be improving a little bit more in his time.
Yeah, I haven't seen John in chat yet. He would live just like 20 miles off there, the circuit, so he might give us some quite nice weather forecast, but I haven't seen him in here yet, so Yeah, but I have seen some pictures of a weather radar there. It looks like the rain is dissipating there, so doesn't look like we have anything to, well, spice things up in this free practice session, where we have about 30 minutes to go.
Yeah, just looking at the weather forecast there. It's just to the northwest there of the track that's located a little bit to the down the road there from Milton Keyes, of course, the headquarters there of Red Bull.
Yeah, we have Norris now going through the ominous wiggly worm bit, improving on his personal time, so they definitely got the problem solved he was complaining about earlier with the bouncing. So let's
Yeah, they're
see.
looking pretty good, actually. I don't see as Hamilton goes fast as the middle sector. They're looking pretty and goes 77 thousandths of a second just off that pace there. But it's Lewis Hamilton time. It's the hammer time, perhaps. I'm telling you, this man could very much capable of getting pole in a couple hours for the qualifying session. For the first time this year, said he's looking
Yeah,
damn competitive with their new upgrades.
not sure about that. He is still 2 tenths behind Verstappen. You know, the man who just got out there, put one lap in, put it into P1, and hasn't been seen since. Because as it looks, he is currently out there. Let me look that up if I can find it, so I don't have another blunder. But it looks like Max Verstappen is now out there just doing his his race pace simulations now, taking it very easy on a medium tire, I guess. Not sure about the tire though.
See, what's surprising right now is that as Daniel Ricciardo's out on track, but you got to remember that he was in the top of the timesheets a lot earlier in the session, and now currently in P19, that's how much the time to start the tumble. That's 3.2 seconds off the fastest time right now that Max Verstappen. Just to give you guys an indication at that, I want you guys to do a little bit of homework at that. Who has the lap record? What year was it? And you get an indication of what the times would be differently at the moment. Currently, the quickest here for practice session, of course, remember practice, 28.4. Max Verstappen. What was the lap record, guys? You know that out in racing statistics?
That looks like another flyer there for Verstappen, just starting, by the way. Getting the mini sectors green, purple, purple, and now yellow through the technical part. So apparently they were um, toning down their whole downforce thing, as it looks like he is losing a lot of time throughout the cornery bits, but definitely making time up throughout the straights. So see as we get Vettel going over the line, 2 seconds off the pace, keeping him in his current P12.
And just reading off of the chats out there, guys, that no, Ben Lane got the correct time. Well, not really. 2020, it was Max Verstappen, and that's the fastest lap time. That is the record lap time. 27.097, so 27 flat almost. Last year,
It
2020.
was a 124 by Hamilton, but also in 2020,
Oh.
the qualifying lap. I think
Oh,
124.4 or 0.3 or something. I don't know. I'd need to ask the gods of Google for the exact time. Verstappen solidifying his advantage there into P1, going 3 tenths quicker than Hamilton. Keeping it there, and very, very confusing to see there. If you look at the data and mini sector telemetry, Latifi actually has a purple mini sector in sector 2. Sector 2-5 is a purple one, and that is Latifi.
yeah, but one little tiny mini sector, of course, which is he's still 3.2
Yeah, of
seconds
course.
off
Of course, no, it won't bring him anything. But I would not expect to have the goatee in P19. Just that one little purple mini sector, and I have been looking at that for quite a while. It doesn't look like anybody's taking that from him. He has had that quite a lot now, and Hamilton is improving his time by 2/10 now, but still being 1/10 behind Verstappen. And I would like to see Ferrari go back out, throwing themselves into the mix, as they are still half a second off the pace there.
But more crucially important, Hamilton, no, that doesn't look like they are going to improve. A lot of people are on out laps, a lot of people coming back into the pit in laps and back into the pit lane right now for a little bit of a cool down. Maybe, as you said, getting closer to that qualifying trim setup now, lowering the fuel in the cars, putting some fresh boots on. Keanu Reeves is pretty happy as the Aston Martin. He's giving the nods there. So John Wick is impressed with the Sebastian Vettel going in and out there, changing some fresh boots. Perez now looking pretty spicy, pretty quick at the moment. Yeah, he definitely got the approval. Team radio from Sebastian.
Yeah, just saying that they should let him know sooner if somebody is coming up from behind. So
Yeah. Keanu
Paris
Reeves probably let you know,
trying
mate.
to Yeah, now Paris is kind of trying to improve on his time now. Doesn't look like he's putting it into P1, but he has improved on his personal best throughout Sector 1, also throughout Sectors 2, and would currently be... He's still behind Hamilton on his pace, but he could put it in front of Leclerc as well. But he looks slow throughout that last bit there, and he goes over the line, putting it into P. Not keeping it in sixth, not able to improve his overall lap. But that first two sectors looked quite strong.
Yeah, this is this three-way team battle fight that I expect to see during the qualifying and the race, because if you look at it there from P1 to P6, a half a second, then you have a bit of another gap there, 1 second gap to Alonso, who did come out and do a pretty good job. There's confirmation out there before too, as you guys had said, from George Russell. No kangarooing or porpoising or bouncing, so they fixed that problem. Copy that. The engineer. So yeah, the cool down time, this is, as I'm saying this because you guys, we have 26 minutes or so left of the qualifying session, with the practice coming up. Sorry, the qualifying coming up. This is the practice in a couple of hours. Rain still lurking. And that's this is where they come in and get pit lane garage. They change the boots right now, the tires, and probably take a little bit less fuel out of the car. Get ready, I'd have to say, for some practice qualifying sessions, right, mate?
Yeah, I guess we have already seen a little bit of qualifying attempts, as the first 5 laps are already around the 1 minute 28 point something, only split by a tiny bit of half a second over 6 places. So I think we have already seen the qualifying attempts here.
And it's only
In
Ocon on the
qualifying,
track by himself at the moment. Everybody else has a couple of cars, but they're just coming on in laps. So once again, taking advantage of a situation with no traffic. That's clever. And let's see what Ocon can do. His top speed's 312 kilometers an hour. I believe the 320, 330 was the highest ever record. Ocon, I think, up at a
yeah,
P8, if I'm not
through turn
mistaken.
18, improving on sector 1 and 2, also on sector 3, putting it into P8 directly behind his teammate there.
Team radio as well.
Yeah, did you catch it?
Yeah, I did. Sergio Perez saying there's a few drops of rain, he says on his visor out there, but his engineer said, don't worry about it, mate, it's blowing over. He'll be okay for now. Perez is out on track, but got a mini purple sector there, but most of the rest are not improving on his personal best.
Anna, it looks like Perez is really just getting some simulation run of something in there, as he's not really getting any improvements on his times. And it doesn't seem like he is very pushy there. Oh yeah, the track is emptying once again. I get some FP1 flashbacks there, as only Perez and Ocon are slowly and dynamically, a little bit just cruising along their laps there. So
Yeah, I think they're on in laps, my friend, at the moment. We'll see.
yeah,
A lot of
probably
the drivers
in-lap
are sitting in the
or
cars, so they're not out of the cars just yet. They are sitting in there. I'll check the weather
yeah.
droplet radar for a second to see how that's coming into play. They did expect maybe there's about 30-40% chance of rain towards the end of this practice session. A good chance of perhaps some rain during qualifying. It is British Silverstone weather, so do know that it tends to rain quite a bit around here. What's the temperature? Can you check the temperatures? If they've been dropping or not? That's always a good indication.
Um, yeah, no, it's not really dropping, but the humidity is going up. So there seems a little bit of rain is blowing over, but it really seems like it is blowing over. Like we have seen the weather radar earlier, and it doesn't look like there is anything really coming in. We have a current air temperature of 17.2 degrees Celsius or 62 Fahrenheit
Oh,
and
it's coming. Sorry, I think.
23.9 track temperature or 75 Fahrenheit. So yeah, now the Hasses are both going out there for some other laps, both on a soft tire, currently on the out laps. So let's see what they will do on their softs now.
I'm looking at the Doppler radar there for the predictions. It's blowing in from the south, but it's blowing to the southeast, which means that it's going to look at coming over top of the track there by qualifying. I don't think we get any during the practice session, but I do think we're going to get rain during qualifying, according to the predictions. Rain likely around 2:30 p.m. local time. That will put you right smack bang in the middle of qualifying, I believe.
Probably, yeah. So let's see Russell giving it another go with an outlap. So we will see something of him quite soon as Magnussen is coming up into his flyer there. It seems like even though the bouncing has kind of stopped with Hamilton's car, they are still working on the front wing and other aerodynamic parts. It seems like they just want to get to the very limit there, as we also see the Williams of Alex Albon getting some work done on the side pod. So that's the upgrade Williams was looking for.
We
As
haven't heard about Mick
Magnussen,
Schumacher too much, but Mick Schumacher is improving a little bit on his first sector time. He's out there getting ready on he's on a flying lap right now. Lance Stroll's on an out lap. We've got George Russell on an out lap.
yeah, seems like they got something about the setup right there. As Mick is able to improve on his personal best, hopefully ready to get back into that top 10. While Magnussen's time is not looking too strong, Ocon neatly getting out of the way of Schumacher there to not impede his lap.
20 minutes left to practice session. Everybody coming out again. It looks like the track's going to start getting busy. See what George Russell can do because he's on a flying lap right now.
Yeah, look what Magnussen can do as he is going over the line. Keeping it in P14, though, not able to improve. But Mick Schumacher putting it into P7 there. Getting very, very quick through turn 18.
I expect the times to start tumbling quite a bit right now. I would not be surprised if we're not in the 27s, at least at the end of the free practice session. Definitely in qualifying, we'll be in 27s, pending the rain, of course. George Russell about 2/10 down at the moment through the middle sector. Remember, they're all in that half a second bracket between Verstappen to Perez. George Russell at the moment would be looking around where Charles Leclerc's pace is if he can cross the line soon. Makes his way around Club. Sorry, not yet. Club.
Yeah, now Russell just stuck behind his teammate there, 600th of a second off his pace. 1.5 tenths behind Verstappen there. I don't think, or I do think this time will get beaten at one point or another during this session, but Verstappen looks set very strong out there, but he is getting out there on track.
Both the Aston Martins are out on track, improving on their times as Lance Stroll and Sebastian Vettel, P12 and 13. Once again, they've got Mr. John Wick in the garage, so you want to impress your actor?
Yeah, they got
invitation.
impressed there.
They are improving on their times. No purples, so many purples. We do have Daniel Ricciardo, both the McLarens you guys have mentioned out there too. Not doing very good performance at the moment. Once again, it's free practice, but they are improving right now on their flying laps.
Yeah, team radio. It seems like they went over the limit with their aerodynamic adjustments as he has some bouncing into turn 6. That is right after the first long, straight and fast bit. So we will probably see him bounce again down into turn 15 there.
Yeah, the interesting thing, we'll see whether or not he'll come back in and make some adjustments, or if he'll stay out there and try and do some tweaking in the car itself. Now, to explain to everybody, I guess we'll have a little bit of time as there's time to start tumbling. What adjustments can the driver do from his wheel inside the car? You are an engineer.
Oh.
You should be able to tell us that one.
Yeah, I was just that's like, what can a doctor do to improve your health? Like, they can pretty much set everything. Since 2021, I think they're not able to adjust the fuel mix into the engine anymore. As this rule has been changed that they need to drive on the same fuel mix ratio as they were driving in qualifying, trying to slow down this.
Can he adjust
particle
the
of
bumpy?
Mercedes.
If he is saying it's bumpy, can he adjust it as Verstappen's going a little bit quicker? No, they can't adjust the ride height or anything like that, but they can adjust the front wing tweakers.
Active suspension has been banned. All they could do is work with the brake bias. Having radio buttons, having DRS buttons, stuff like that. Of course, the whole gear shifting and clutch works from the wheel as well, so they only have 2 panels to go fast and slow it down.
Charles Leclerc second and Max
else
Verstappen
is
going
done
even
from the
quicker.
wheel.
Okay, there we go. So Max Verstappen is through the second sector. He's about 4 tenths quicker than his previous quickest time.
Yeah, he's just putting in 2 more purples, getting very, very fast into that last technical section there. A little late on the power, but still putting in 3 purple sectors consecutive, putting again half a second between him and Leclerc. What is it? Damn, I don't want to say anything stupid again. The glove has been smacked, or that's at least how we say it in German.
It's the gauntlet, my friend's been laid down. That's what it is.
Right.
Yes.
I was kind of stuck with mitten. When I was like, no, it is not mitten, and I don't want to appear any more stupid than I actually am.
English
so...
is not your first language. It's fine. It's absolutely fine, of course. At least you can speak multiple languages. I'm only stuck on the English out there. And let us know in chat too, guys. How many languages can you speak? I'm interested. We have about 15 minutes left of qualifying as we're looking at Adrian Newey. Always looking serious on the Red Bull garage, of course, the chief designer of the Red Bull. And of course, he should be a little bit worried because this time around, he's got the Mercedes to contend with, as well as, of course, the Ferraris that they have been all season so far.
Yeah, that doesn't look like Mercedes is even trying at the moment. They're not even improving on their personal bests. So, yeah, I think he is quite happy with himself. But Perez is not really having much reason to be happy as he will start his flying lap soon, but it seems like he will get stuck behind Latifi at one point or another, depending on what he's doing. But let's see. Perez out there on a fly now. Taking some purple mini sectors off his teammate there. Of course, that doesn't really say anything. I mean, you could basically get a purple mini sector everywhere and with just not braking into the corner, overshooting it, but it will be purple. So, yeah, seeing some purple
Hamilton?
mini sectors there for Perez, but he is going green only throughout first sector.
Yeah, but he's the slowest of the best per se. Once again, because he's now in that 1 second range away, and that's Lando Norris. We forgot about that. It snuck that McLaren into P7. That's good considering Daniel Ricciardo
Yeah.
struggling at the moment. P16.
Lachlan B there asking if in FP3 they do quali runs or race runs. Basically, they always start every session with very specific runs like qualifying pace or fuel usage runs, maybe look at the tire runs and so on. And then it's always toward the middle or the last third of the session, they start doing their race runs if they are happy with whatever other runs they did. Now out to qualifying with Verstappen putting in an all-purple lap. I don't think anyone will go into a race simulation within this last 10 minutes, but they try to crack that secret the Red Bulls seem to have unlocked there for just going out, doing an all-purple sector, going back in. It's Verstappen hasn't done too many laps. I think only about 10 or something compared to the Mercedes who have been out there for well over 20 laps,
Yeah,
if I'm
to
not
have
mistaken.
quite a few laps at
So
that. Judge Russell at the moment looking pretty good, mate. He's looking about 3/10 down from our provisional top speed as he makes his way into around club now to cross the line. I expect this might be a provisional 2. It's half a second off the pace, actually. So,
it might be, but he is half a second off. That is a P4 there.
sorry, I was jumping the gun on that one. He wasn't going around club. He's just going around loop right now in the middle sector, as you can see on the track map. I'll get it right at some point.
Yeah, Verstappen giving it another go, immediately having his mini sectors lighting up in green and purple. So they unlocked something within the Red Bull there.
Arise, Sir Hamilton is one of the banners that some of the local fans here, of course. They've got 3 British drivers to support in the race in this
Yeah.
GP weekend.
What's wrong there, Lord Cattington? You want to say hello? You don't want to say hello to chat. All right. So then stop. You know, I'm kind of doing my thing here. Get food later.
Yes, cats. You know, but we got pets out there.
Yeah, he just, started up climbing my jogging pants, and that was quite painful. So
Sweatpants
yeah,
are on, of course. That's what you can have when you're casting and watching Formula One. Practice session 3, of course, qualifying will be coming up in a couple of hours. Lewis Hamilton went in the pit lane for a little bit and came back out, which is interesting because a lot of the other drivers are out on track, haven't come back in. Alex Albon looks like he's improving a little bit on his time. Bottas setting a mini purple sector there. Max doing Max's best thing that he does is improving on his time.
yeah,
Overall.
another purple sector too, but not improving his overall time. But Perez was able to get quite the improvement in there, putting it into P2, following his teammate. This will be a very, very interesting qualifying session, as I think Ferrari is not running the car at its absolute best and maximum now. With their reliability issues, they're probably, toning it down a little bit during the practice sessions just to play it safe, basically.
Just looking
So
at
I
the
think,
graphics as well, sorry, mate, that they're showing real quick there that down the straights, Max Verstappen's about half a second quicker. Time loss apparently on the straights is Charles Leclerc to the Ferrari, so it doesn't seem like the straight line speed they have this evening on the Red Bulls.
Yeah, as I said, it looks like they are toning it down on their car at the moment. Because we both know that Ferrari is or has been quicker than Red Bull throughout all season. The only reason the Red Bulls have won is that their car is way more reliable, or rather that the Ferrari is just been way more unreliable. Wait, we got a team radio here. That is a very long radio message, which I did not really understand. It was
I
something.
didn't understand it either. Sorry.
It was something
Uh,
about Verstappen aborting his lap and Russell being surprised by that or something, but I have watched the track map. They haven't been very close to each other. So yeah. Well, there
Hamilton's
we go.
improving a little bit. Sorry.
Yeah, the last 8 minutes, everybody is either on their simulation runs or back into the pits to get another lap in. So let me just take some good use of that time and remind you again to of course, subscribe to the channel if you like our commentary, as we do this every race weekend for every race. Since about 3 years, we haven't missed a single session here, and we are not planning on missing out on any in the future. So make sure to subscribe if you like our commentary or just the data we are providing you. Also, grab a knife from your kitchen, sneak up to the like button's home, make your way in just as they are trying to go to sleep, and heat their pillow from both sides just enough so it is uncomfortable, and then make your way back home.
Where do
And
you
of
come up with
course,
this stuff? Honestly.
try to annoy your non-F1 fans by sharing the link to this stream and, of course, to the qualifying stream that will start in about 2 hours, and just share it with whoever you have who does not like F1, just to annoy them.
All right. You get all that? If you didn't, you can repeat the question. Is Alonso out on track at the moment, putting it. Gasly, yeah. So the Alpha Tories, not so good. Daniel Ricciardo's that's the one to really watch out. We know that Daniel Ricciardo could probably throw a good time in towards the end, 6 minutes, but he would have to do it. It's a practice session, of course. And yeah, I haven't even got hyped so far yet, guys, at all for the session because it doesn't look like they're hyping me up for anybody going really quickly just yet. But yeah, so if you want to hit the thumbs up button, if you want to hear me start screaming on the microphone soon enough.
Jose Martinez asked if there are any engineers in the chat other than Biggles.
I'm
Jose,
not
I
an
think you got
engineer,
that
mate.
wrong.
Other
Yeah,
than
yeah,
you mean? You're the engineer
yeah.
here.
Farrell's the engineer here.
I just
We had a
cast.
Hamilton team radio. His rear seems bouncing a lot.
Doesn't look like it, but you know he can feel it obviously in the car traveling at 300 plus kilometers an hour. High G
Yeah, and
forces.
this new FIA sensors who seem to be picking up on that will surely notice that too.
I think he's bouncing a little bit too because it looks like he might have run a little bit wide. Sparks are coming out of the bottom, so that the floor plate is definitely getting a little bit of friction. Doesn't look too bad. People were complaining of the F1 game that was released this last week, guys. If you played it or not, people were complaining there's no porpoising in the game. I don't think when they were developing the game they even knew about porpoising. Anyway, if you do like your F1, the F1 2022 game is available on your consoles and your PC. We're not even
Yeah,
sponsored by
but
them,
we
and
are
we're putting
not
it out there.
we're not paid to advertise the game here, so
Uh,
shut up.
I'm just saying, if you like F1, of course,
Yeah,
that's all
no,
it
no,
is.
I don't care if you like F1 and Codemasters want us to advertise their games. DMs are open. We will advertise your game and give honest feedback on everything as
True.
long as you pay us for that.
True. I was engaging at the chat. Alpha Tories need to do something about it. Sonoda is on track, so I get his name eventually. I have been in Japan. I should know.
Yeah, but Sonoda there doesn't look all too quick on his soft tire. Doesn't look like he is much improving on his personal times. This should be a flyer, though.
So I started to shut up about something else. 4 minutes to go. A lot of cars on track, but just nobody setting any real greens or purples at the moment. So what has happened? Has track temperature dropped? Not significantly. Humidity is still hovering around 67.
But yeah, Electromecha Shinobi. I am a mechanical automobile engineer, so what you're waiting for? I am on board with launching our own very own racing statistics F1 team.
Yeah, and you live down the road there from the factory, of course, for the Alfa Romeos.
Exactly. That might be a problem because as I just live right down street from the Alfa Romeo factory, that's going to be a tricky one as we would almost have to work together with them, but they are a Ferrari customer team, and I don't like Ferrari's reliability.
Ooh. Ferraris, well, at the moment in the pit lane, look like they're putting fuel into one of the cars.
Yeah,
2 minutes left in qualifying, guys.
in free practice.
Free practice, though. You keep saying that. Yeah, some people are saying I'm bored and watching it live. Well, it's boring-ish at the moment, but we'll see with the last couple of minutes who wants to go across the line first before everybody else in the practice session and lay down that gauntlet coming for the qualifying coming up later. But we are expecting rain for the qualifying, at least according to the Doppler radar that I was looking at. Any predictions, guys? Do you think anybody could sneak it away there from the Red Bulls during this last practice session for the whole weekend?
And now throughout the last few minutes, there is not too many people out on the track, so I am not sure we will see a lot of improvement as now it is in the 2-minute window. So if you want to put in a lap, you got to go out now. What is being done by the Red Bulls, they're both getting themselves another lap in there, but
Yeah, this
apart
is
from that,
a vapor run now, mate. This is a vapor run. This is what you call it. Just put it enough. Just basically just put the fuel vapors in there. Don't even have actual fuel itself. Just run on vapors, which means it'll be a 1-lap sprint flying lap. And it definitely is for sure because Hamilton now starting his. I'm seeing
yeah,
a purple and a green for the mini sectors.
Hamilton really getting it in there. But he is slowing it down right towards the cornery bits. So now an onboard of Hamilton would be great to see him go down that first straight and have a look at the bouncing ourselves because, well, he did get a purple over the start finish line, but that's about it. Apart from that, he's just going green and yellow. So I don't think he is getting anywhere near P1. And now we're getting this onboard of him going down into Copse, and he is looking very bouncy indeed.
Yeah, the track isn't evolutionizing as much as what I thought it would. People asking about Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel's finally come out. He's gone out, I believe, in the mediums. Daniel's definitely struggling on his birthday weekend, unfortunately. So we'll see if he can.
That is a close one. I mean, we are 30 seconds from the end of the session. He is only in turn 7 coming up to Cup's corner soon. He won't do another lap in this session. He will just go and grab the checkered flag, probably just gotten out to get himself another practice start there.
Well, sometimes they put a lap out this to scrub the tires because they would know whether he'd make it. I think Supermax might have this covered.
The checkered flag is out. Yeah. That has been it. First to get it will be Lewis Hamilton there, not able to improve on his times, keeping him in P5, almost 6/10 off Verstappen's pace there.
Yeah, I'd say it's scrubbing, guys. You get fresh boots out. You don't want to start. Generally, you don't want to start anything on absolutely brand new boots, right, out of the blankets. You want to have at least 1 lap in them so that they've got a little bit of that stickiness to the tire, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Or any of your, for your qualifying, perhaps?
I mean, that definitely goes for the tires on your race car that you want to have about 50 kilometers or about 40 miles, I guess, on them before you really put them to use. But with Formula One tires, that is a whole different deal as they are incredibly soft. I mean, you make a few laps on them and then they are basically through. So you get this thing that first use that perforation of the surface. You get that just by driving out the pit lane. So
Ah, okay, fair enough. It's interesting though, as Pirelli's always changing it. These are new boots as well too this year. Well, at least increased size. Just having a look at a lap recap, I think, as just lap recapping Max Verstappen's flying lap of the day so far. It was the only man in the 127.9s as well. We're not quite sure if we're going to see those times during qualifying, with that rain definitely lurking in a couple of hours. But that's your top five, really. You expected a top six, sorry, Carlos. And inside that 1 second barrier, didn't I say that's going to be that battle between the three teams? Because Lando Norris had managed to get his McLaren up there, home hero, of course, here in front of his British GP fans, 1.2 seconds down the road. The best of the rest with Bottas right close with him on that time. And then you
yeah,
get quite a bit of a gap
you
there between the
you
rest.
would expect to see. I mean, I am glad to see Mercedes getting back up to pace as a two-team championship isn't very spectacular to watch and tends to get very boring towards the end of the season. Of course, apart from what we had last season, that was a whole other thing. But I don't know. Glad a team is up there, but I would rather have Alfa Romeo or McLaren take that space there instead of the Mercedes. But
I'd rather a 10 team, mate. I'd rather 10 team battle into a battle. Wouldn't that be exciting? Because it was not realistic.
that would be insane. But I don't
That would be
think
F2 at that point,
yeah,
wouldn't it? Almost.
yeah.
So, guys, out there, that's it for the session. They're just basically doing their burnouts that they do, practice starts per se, not burnouts. And yeah, I think I have to say that is pretty much it for everybody. So, yeah, definitely give us a bit of a thumbs up, like if you did like it, because the qualifying session will be coming in a couple of hours. Over to you, mate. Wrap it all up.
Well, yeah, Biggles, you gotta do this more creative. So, whenever you are, if you are a mobile user, bring your nose in very close to the screen, hold your phone upright, and then use your nose tip to touch that red button that says subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot, and it is completely free to you. So yeah, please do that, and also sneak into your parents' room, get that little metal box that is in their closet on the top shelf, grab the gun and some ammunition out of that, and hold the like button hostage. Then force them to walk through some puddles in their socks, and then just leave them to it again, and of course put the gun back because they are no toys. What else is there? Yeah, whoever, I'm sure we all know people who do not like Formula One. Share this stream and share this whole channel with them. On one hand, just to annoy them. On the other hand, because we are very passionate about all the motorsports, and we might just convert them to get into the sport themselves, so you have more people to talk about it with that. So we have a solid lead of the two Red Bulls by Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. The fastest lap we have seen is a 1 minute 27.9, followed by the Ferraris and the Mercedes in place 3 to 6. Then we see the first midfield team in form of the McLaren from Lando Norris, followed by Bottas, Mick Schumacher, and Alonso, rounding out the top 10. Then Alonso's teammate Ocon just out of the points. And then we get all the others from Vettel, Joe, Albon, Gasly, Stroll, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Latifi, and Magnussen being the slowest of this session. Yeah, I guess that has been it. Of course, you go out, do a random good deed, and if it is just stealing candy from a diabetic kid, as I unfortunately had to do yesterday, but you know the story, I told that earlier. So, yeah, I guess this has been it. I've been Feral. The other sexy, sexy voice has been Biggles. Qualifying will start in 2 hours from now, a little bit less. And I hope to see you all there. And let's see if we get some rain or not.